Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me
Good
some.
day, Matcham.
Show me some.
Good day, sir.
Show me some.
You got your red. You're switching it up on me today, huh?
I wanted to get ignited because by the time this podcast airs, we will be at Ignite. So I wanted to be like fiery red,
Wanted that night,
type deal.
that
Yeah.
fire.
So
I like it. Well, in lieu of kind of jumping in, buddy, it's crazy. So I have noticed, we had a couple of brand new writers, just yesterday.
mm,
And you and I were talking obviously earlier, and it is insane to me and like how much we don't know that they're actually doing, right? So I literally kind of ran through this presentation with an agent, um and listening to them kind of do it live was nowhere near what we had even rehearsed and talked about and everything from start to finish. So I kind of brought this idea to you, and you're like, dude, let's talk about that. So, what would we call this one, Mer? How would we call it? Like properly setting up a new agent,
how
or
about how to be a good mentee and a good mentor?
ooh, I like it.
Because it's you could have the best mentor in the world, but if you're not a good mentee, you're not coachable, you're not, asking for help the right way, like it's not going to work the same, right?
Right.
So, but I love it because I was thinking back to when I first started, and I flew up to South Carolina where my upline lived, Puckett, and I went out with them in the car, and we went to people's homes, and I got to kind of see the presentation in real life, and I got to see how you go into the application and see how to be like have that confidence. And then I remember there's times that I needed help and I had no idea what in the world I was doing. So I just called and I heard you close it or Ryan, and I just was like, wow. And then this light bulb went off where it was like, I get it because I heard it in real life. They heard me, like, and it was like all of a sudden like this big long learning curve. It was like the shortcut right through it was me
Yeah.
getting being and hearing people hearing me and me hearing other people live in action,
So what should we call this one? Like lazy leaders. Ladies, lazy leaders need to step up because how important was that for your success, right? I know that when I came in, all I wanted to do, Mer, was just see it, right? Like I just want
Mhm.
like let me watch the process. Let me understand it. Let me just see how it goes. And if you're a brand new agent, you're looking at this opportunity, like put in the chat for us, like how many of you kind of wanted that too? How many of
Mhm.
you agree with that idea, that theory? Like, all right, yes, I can read it on a script. I can understand it. You guys can talk about it, but like seeing is believing and understanding the simplicity behind it. So, lazy leaders, start doing your presentation in front of your brand new agents so they can see it. Miranda, would you agree with that?
Yes, yes. Okay, so it's so much easier now because I would not need to drive up to or fly up to North Carolina to do this, right? Like I know Jasmine Pearson, who is one of the fastest growing agencies in my master agency. That's all she does is like she'll run an appointment. I'll see it on GroupMe. She'll be like, "Hey, I'm running an appointment in this room. If anyone wants to listen." Boom! All of a sudden, like she might be on speaker with her client, but everyone can hear her, right? And the same goes for like dials. It's like, John, I remember when we were getting on the field, that's when Zoom just became a thing, like way back when.
Mhm.
And just hearing people off mute dialing was just like it still is a game changer. But are you doing that, right? Are you doing your presentation live for your downline to hear? Not, I hate the word downline, your teammates to hear, right? Are they doing it for you? Right. So I guess number one, I love the ride along
Let's
theory is
talk,
like,
let's talk about that really, really quick though. Why don't people do it if they're doing it already? I think it's out of fear. I think it's because maybe they don't follow the system to a T. Maybe they don't want their teammates to see their failures.
mm,
And how much more powerful is that, bud? Like them watching 10 presentations and maybe the leader, right, only helps out 4 or 5 out of 10. There's so many lessons in the 4 or 5 that you're missing, and it gives them the ability to think that they're normal. It gives them like the me too. All right, so it happens to you too. It happens to me too. It's okay. How many times have we heard leadership in our company talk about the Me Too theory? So don't think that you have to follow the script to a T with perfection. Don't think that you have to do this perfect presentation. Don't think that you have to help out every single family. Just do it, because you're going to help them so much more. Anything that you kind of add to that?
Yeah, no, 100%. And one of the biggest things that I learned by hearing other people do it is how to think on my feet and how to have confidence, right? We could role play all day long, but when you hear somebody like really maneuver through, let's say the person says they want to think about it and how that goes and how to recircle back into things, like not everything we're doing is scripted, and that's okay. Right? We should have an outline. Hopefully that the thing is, if you're not sticking to a consistent, you leaders aren't sticking to a consistent sales system, you're probably not having consistent results. So if you don't have something that's at least duplicatable enough, I would look at that, right? It's the phone script. It's like, you can't be good on the phone if you're saying different things every single time. It's impossible.
Right.
So mentors, I know some of the mentors are going to hate this podcast. That's okay. This is what we want to do. It's our podcast. But for real. Okay, so number one, ride along. Don't be scared, right? Like, people can learn from your mistakes, right? We say that really wise people learn from mistakes and really wise people learn from other people's mistakes, right? So the other side of it, right, riding along would be for the mentee, right? And so when the mentee is sitting there, there's 2 things that can happen. Number one, they can invite their upline to listen to them live. Again, don't be scared, okay? Don't be scared. This is how you're going to get through the learning curve. Or you can invite them to come on the call to help you. Okay, not every upline is going to want to do this, but I know, John, this is something that we learned. This is how our agencies grew so fast, as we called it a 911. And what would happen is, in the middle of the phone call or the middle of the presentation, you can bring on a national underwriter and say, all right, listen, Mary and John, I just want to make sure that I deal with a lot of carriers and I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I'm just going to bring on John Ziller real quick. He's knows a lot more than I do about the 60 companies I work with. Hey, John, and bring him on.
Yeah, it's an assumed thing. You're not asking them, you're telling them, hey, I just after you already merge it, then you're telling the client, right? Like during the client, because the client's not going to want you to bring in whatever they perceive to be the closer. That's how it's going to appear in their eyes. So you already have to make that happen, number one. So, if I'm on the phone, it'd be like, all right, hold on, Miranda, 1 second, because I'm texting my upline, right? Or I'm texting my leader, I'm texting my manager saying, hey, need some help really quick. And I'm not even telling the client anything right now. And then once I get out, hey, Miranda, can you hold on 1 second for me? My phone won't stop beeping. I answer the phone. Hey, John, or hey, whoever. Hey, Ryan, I'm sitting with Miranda. Here's the situation that you're walking into really quick. I have her on the other line, but I want to merge it. Is that okay? Yep. All right, cool. Boom, you're merged. Hey, Miranda. Oh, sorry about that. It was actually our team lead, one of the specialists. And he's actually, I was just kind of telling him about the case really quick, and he's going to jump in and help us. Hey, Ryan, are you there? Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Boom, let Ryan take over and you shut up. You don't add anything to it. You shut up. And the transition was very smooth there.
Yeah.
But if you tell them, go ahead, Miranda.
John, even on Zoom, like let's say you're running an appointment on Zoom, just have your mentor show
Jump
up.
in. Yeah.
And then they're just there. Hey, how's it going?
So simple.
But you're right. You don't talk. When the mentor shows up on the call, right, they're going to let them start over. And as the mentor, you'll be like, probably re-dig into the why again. Tell me about your situation. Why are you looking into this coverage? What are you hoping it'll do for you and your family? And you're just going to go through it. Right. So let me
add a third one to this. I think we're following a structure. You said, invite your upline or invite them to come on the call with you. And if you really don't feel comfortable with that, which is ridiculous, you should. And like, get out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen inside of your comfort zone. Just do it. Even if you're nervous, who cares? You'll eventually get comfortable and used to it. But if your upline doesn't have time, your manager, your leader, whatever you want to call it, record yourself and send them the recording. Because too many times, Miranda, and this is a massive pitfall in this industry that people don't understand. I'm going to tell you, as the new person, of what I believe is going wrong in this presentation. You, as the manager, you're going to focus on helping me with that. And it could be what's not the problem at all. We don't know as leaders until we hear them doing it live, until we watch this interaction or hear this interaction or see that whatever it is, we need to understand in its entirety. Miranda, you think that I have I might be telling you that I have a show factor problem, and it has nothing to do with show factor. It has everything to do with something completely different. So from a leadership standpoint, you have got to be involved in this process in the very beginning, or it is going to take them forever to figure it out because they don't know what they don't know. So I just wanted to add that third caveat to your thing.
And here's the thing, listen to your own recording. You're going to know if it sounds good or you sounded like crap in a certain part without someone having to tell you. Sure. But get out of your comfort zone, record yourself. Again, you should do that anyways, and then send it to your mentor. And that kind of leads into the last step of this whole thing, which is the autopsy call, right? Let's say you did not do a ride along, right? Or you did not bring on your upline when you're during the live call. At least call and follow up with your mentor about what happened on the appointment. Okay? Let them know what happened. But here's what John said that's really important. And I wrote a whole book on it. Okay. The Ultimate Sales Training Success Guide is about how to mentor someone through. So John calls me and they said that they had to think about it. And you typically want to be like the shell answer man, right? And like tell them what they should have done. Here's what you do as a mentor. You say, all right, John, what did you say next? Don't say this is what you should have done. Then he'll tell you what he thinks he said, which is probably not going to be even close to what he really said. However, you're going to be able to help mentor him based on that. Then you can correct it, right? Give your feedback and then do this. John, let's do it again. Based on what I just said, let's hear you do it again back. Okay?
Yeah.
So important, but you have to call. If you're not calling your mentor after every single person that told you no and checking in, you're probably sucking at sales. You just probably are. No matter how many of these podcasts you listen to, that's probably a big hole in the boat. So
I love it. And it's so true. And again, I think that even if you're not getting the recordings, it's really tough and you have to do exactly what you just said, right? But if you are getting the recording, that's the cool thing about having the recording is, no, here's exactly what you said. And here's what we should say next time. And then what Miranda just said, role play it, practice it with them, have them do it to you. I was literally doing that just yesterday with a brand new agent that was going into his very first appointment. Miranda, he helped out his very first family.
What's his name?
Was so cool. Frank.
Good job, Frank.
Frank. Frank the Tank is what I call him.
Yeah.
And
my newest AO is Frank the Tank also. So if your name's Frank, high five. All right.
There you go. High five. But yeah, Frank. So it was so cool, watching him do this and go through the process, because I was and I had his upline on the call with us, and she was watching the interaction of what I was walking him through. She was watching how I made him kind of role play it back. And then I'm like, all right, that was really good. Let's slow it down next time. And so he did it again. And then I had him deliver it the third time, and it was perfect. And then that gave him so much confidence going into that appointment because he had just practiced it with me literally right before the appointment.
Well, I think we went over our normal allotted time on this one, John.
But it's
shameless plug on my book, Ultimate Sales Training Success Guide. Half of the book is about how to do this, right? How to role play stuff, how to plan out coaching, but you got to do this. Yeah. You got to do it. And really, guys, don't wait for your mentor to do this with you. Be a good mentee and say, this is what I need. I want to practice this stuff. Here, I want you to meet with me. I want help. Be the one that raises your hand and says, what's next? What's next? What's next? that's where our time goes, is to the ones who put themselves at the front of our top of our phone list.
Yeah.
Right? You be that person, and I promise you that your upline is going to say, this person wants to win. I'm going to invest more time in them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
And you'll find that you don't have too many lazy leaders.
Don't be a lazy leader,
Be
y'all.
lazy leaders. All right. If you don't want to suck at sales, you like click here, click there, click somewhere. Thanks, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.